Coming up on Around San Diego, really a heartbreaking story out of Chula Vista after a young boy dies in a scooter accident. And a warning from the sheriff's office on THC products, what you should watch out for to keep yourself and kids safe. Plus, a Barrio Logan staple is now up for sale. More from the family behind Las Cuatros Milpas. Hello to you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and we'll look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do start with that tragedy in Chula Vista. We are learning more about a child killed while riding an electric scooter. Police tell us the victim was just 8 years old. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has details, including what witnesses say happened.
That crash happened right here inside of an Otay Ranch condo complex. Neighbors are devastated. They say the 8-year-old boy was visiting family when tragedy struck.
It's just hard.
Norliza Rodriguez is still processing what happened right outside her Otay Ranch condo Sunday afternoon.
I heard a scream from a boy, and my husband came up to me, to my home office, and he said that there was an accident. I saw the kid under the car.
Norliza immediately started comforting the boy as her husband and another neighbor grabbed jacks to help lift the car off him.
And then lifted the car a little bit while I was there with the kid, talking to him and said, hang in there, we're here, you know, just don't move.
Paramedics arrived soon after. They transported the boy to Rady Children's Hospital where he died. He's been identified as 8-year-old Matt Viel Rodriguez, also known as Chubby. On Facebook, the Sweetwater Valley Little League posted photos of Chubby as well as a link to a GoFundMe page, writing in part, "Our entire baseball family mourns this unimaginable loss."
Anytime an accident like that, a tragic accident happens, it's going to affect you. I mean, I could cry about it now. And I don't even know who it was.
According to Chula Vista police, Rodriguez was on an electric scooter when a car driven by a man in his 50s who lives in the complex hit him. Neighbors say he was riding alongside a relative on an electric bike when the crash happened. It's unclear whether or not he was wearing a helmet or who was at fault. The complex has no sidewalks or speed limits posted.
This is being investigated as a traffic collision, not a criminal investigation. The driver is cooperating with our officers, and alcohol and drugs do not appear to be a factor in this.
As the investigation continues, people who live in the complex are hoping to prevent another tragedy. In the past, they've voiced their concerns about people speeding and not paying attention. Coincidentally, this woman's daughter recently brought it up in an HOA meeting.
She lives here with 2 little boys. It's already been a concern of hers. A few months back, she did to recommend maybe speed bumps along this area.
The city of Chula Vista just passed an ordinance banning anyone under the age of 12 from operating an electric scooter or bike, but it hasn't gone into effect yet. As for the victims, loved ones say his bright presence touched so many lives and he will forever live on in our hearts. You can find a link to the GoFundMe page at cbs8.com. Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Awful, awful. Shannon, thanks. Well, Immigration and Customs Enforcement is now confirming they detained 5 people during a joint operation with Homeland Security in Mission Bay. Agents were seen raiding RVs parked on East Mission Bay Drive on Tuesday.
¿Cómo te llamas? You guys, these are the ICE agents here.
Yeah, this video filmed by activist Arturo Gonzalez shows the moments after the operation. People inside a parked RV can be heard confirming that 3 individuals inside their RV were taken into custody. The agency claims one person was a member of a, quote, transnational criminal organization and violently resisted apprehension. ICE says the person kicked an agent in the chest and bit another officer's forearm. We caught up with Gonzalez after things calmed down. He says he came to the park as soon as he was informed of that ICE operation.
I did see them being very aggressive with one of the detainees, and there was a mother and her 2 children who, she was in tears. Her kids looked very, 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 very scared. And I was just recording the entire time, trying to gather information.
So now ICE San Diego is presenting charges of assault on a federal law enforcement officer to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Well, Summer Stephan, the San Diego County District Attorney, testified on Capitol Hill this week asking Congress to help fight organized retail theft. Stephan emphasized that these retail theft rings have grown into multi-state and international criminal enterprises, requiring a coordinated federal response. She called on Congress to pass new laws that would establish a federal retail crime response center and require the identification of third-party sellers to expose stolen property online.
Cannot be solved locally. It must be solved by local, state, and national.
Over the last 2 years, the County District Attorney's Office prosecuted more than 200 people for organized retail crime involving the theft of $2.6 million. Well, California is leading the charge in the legal battle against the Trump administration after it froze billions of dollars in federal funds for public schools. State Attorney General Rob Bonta and 23 other states are filing a lawsuit to force the White House to release this money. The funds had been earmarked for after-school and summer programs, teacher training, programs for English learners, and migrant education programs.
Everybody, even though Trump wants to pick on a few groups of students, these affect all students because all students rely on these programs.
Yeah, districts, including San Diego Unified, had been counting on the money when they finalized their budgets. Well, it's a transformation years in the making. A once troubled freeway embankment in National City, long plagued by encampments and debris, has been completely revitalized. CBS 8's Brian White has been following this story from the start, and now he shows us the final results.
Yeah, the transformation is amazing. Take a look over here. Caltrans did a great job of securing the area with this heavy-duty gate. And if you look over here, you can see the hard-scaped rocks and the tall fencing surrounding the entire perimeter here. But before you see the rest, let's show you what it looked like before. For years, tents and trash have been the norm here alongside the 805 freeway just south of East Plaza Boulevard, right behind several apartment complexes.
It was actually one of the largest encampments in the area. There was easily more than 100 people in there, you know, with the carts and the cardboard, the trash.
In December, we showed you construction for a massive $5 million makeover here, a Caltrans beautification project paid for with grant money from the Clean California Initiative.
It actually looks really nice. I like what they did to it. Looks more clean.
Crews hardscaped the area with drought-tolerant plants, installed heavy-duty fencing, and added rock barriers to prevent encampments from returning.
It looked a lot nicer. It's very maintainable. The fences are very strong. It has a good appearance.
Neighbors say not only is the area cleaner, but they feel safer.
You know, it's always that fear in the back of your head that somebody might break into your stuff. But I feel like it's just been, since they built that, it's been a lot more easygoing.
But while one side of the freeway has been cleaned up, neighbors like Gil Garcia, who did not want to go on camera, say the problem has just shifted.
The homeless have moved to the other side of the highway, which has created another problem because now instead of having, 25, 50 people over there, you've doubled it. So it's good on one side, but the other side needs work also.
Still, many here agree this project is a major step forward.
I really appreciate it. I feel like it really brings up the neighborhood a little bit, makes it look a little bit nicer.
Caltrans says the project is designed to be permanent with long-term maintenance in mind. Neighbors say they're hopeful the other side of the freeway will get some attention next. In National City, Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thanks. Well, a new report is revealing some alarming trends when it comes to marijuana use here in California, including a high spike in emergency room visits with more and more young patients. The sheriff's office is warning marijuana products are not regulated and says they have found things like bath salts, pesticides, even fertilizer inside of them, as well as higher levels of THC than they claim to have.
You really have no idea what you're getting. It's completely unregulated. We have this conception that it's legalized in California, but before it was a criminal, illegal product. Well, a tiger doesn't change its stripes. So you still have people who are criminals doing the same thing They're not on the up and up. They're not labeling things appropriately.
Yeah, so according to the new report titled Marijuana's Impact on California, from 2008 to 2022, there was a 521% increase in California Emergency Department visits for marijuana use. Experts say you should lock up that THC to keep it away from children. Well, if you live in San Diego, a new city website is live where you can log on and choose your trash bin size as the city implements a new first-time ever trash fee. Once you get a code in the mail, you can choose your bundle in the city's new online portal. If you do not act by September 30th, though, you'll automatically get the largest containers, which come with the biggest fees.
Are inviting residents to sign on once they receive a mailer from the department. They're going to start going out today. We are sending them out in waves over the next couple of weeks, and that mailer will have a unique code specific to your property.
Yeah, so new gray and blue bins arrive in October. That's when the fee hits your property tax bill. You can find the link to the online portal on our website, cbs8.com. Well, legislation to crack down on people who purchase sex from minors is now on its way to Governor Newsom's desk. This comes after a lengthy battle at the state capitol.
It's an embarrassment that this isn't already the law. Right now, a grown man can walk away with an aggravated misdemeanor. That's not justice, and it sure as hell isn't enough.
Yeah, Assembly 379 will make it a felony in most cases to solicit sex from a 16 or 17-year-old. Currently, that is a misdemeanor again. An adult who solicits sex from a minor who is more than 3 years younger than them will now face felony charges. Well, the building that houses a San Diego icon is up for sale. Las Cuatros Milpas and the property next door are now for sale for just under $2 million. The owners say they have been thinking about the decision for a few years now. They are in their 80s and have been working at the restaurant since they were children. We talked with their niece, Beatrice Rodriguez, who got emotional about the end of this era.
There's so many hard things, but closing the chapter of a dream that started in 1930 from my great-grandparents. I think that's the hardest.
It sure is good. The family tells us they have received interest from people who would like to preserve the business and the property as a whole. Maybe those recipes too. Coming up, new state legislation has sent the cost of pet insurance soaring. We are working for you to explain why and how you can save. Well, Legoland is blasting off with a new space-themed land. This is a look at some of the renderings sent to us. The new land will include what's being called an immersive, groundbreaking indoor roller coaster that promises to be the most technologically advanced attraction the resort has ever created. The new land will also feature 2 other space-themed rides, a toddler play area, and space-themed food, beverages, and a souvenir shop. It is set to open early next year. And the Port of San Diego is considering a proposed sports entertainment district for the Chula Vista Bayfront. A developer wants to build what they are calling Pangea. It includes facilities for tennis, golf, and water polo, plus hotels, shops, and restaurants. The port will discuss a resolution to enter negotiations with that developer. We'll keep you posted. And new state legislation is making pet insurance more expensive. Senate Bill 1217 expands coverage for some things like pre-existing conditions. It also shrinks the grace period for when coverage kicks in from 30 days to just 2 days. That means more people are protecting their pets, and with that comes a higher price.
Insurance had almost tripled. We were like, no way. I mean, this is going to be like $2,500 a year.
Yeah, pet owners are encouraged to shop around, ask if there are ways to save, or given San Diego's proximity to Mexico, consider coverage in Tijuana. Well, the San Diego Unified School District showed us how it's preparing to take students to and from school this upcoming school year. Our crews got to take a ride on a typical bus route this week. We learned more about how the district is prioritizing student safety with additional school bus driver training and vehicle maintenance. Another key focus this year is expanding its zero emissions fleet.
It is different planning on how you run a transportation department on utilizing electric buses, but involving our drivers and all of the staff, we've learned a lot on how we can increase the efficiency.
The district's bus system serves more than 5,000 students each day, with 426 school buses covering roughly 42,000 miles. Still ahead, scientists are using sounds off our coast to learn more about whales. We'll explain in an Earth 8 report. Well, scientists from Scripps Institution of Oceanography have been tapping into sounds of the ocean off Southern California. They have been collecting data from 2008 through 2023, and researchers say what they are hearing is telling them more about things like whale migration patterns and even slowdowns in the global economy. Meteorologist Sean Stiles explains in this Earth 8 report.
When it comes to climate change, we can see it with much larger storms. We can also feel it with heat waves that last longer. But now, in a paper just released from the Scripps Institution of Oceanography, scientists here say they can hear the effects of climate change in the ocean.
So there's what it would sound like if a container ship's going nearby, and that sound's going to propagate really far.
Kieran Lenson is a research and development engineer at Scripps Institution of Oceanography and collaborated on the paper.
So this was a 15-year study looking at climatic and economic factors, looking at soundscapes, sound across the ocean.
The ongoing research listens to natural and man-made sounds in the ocean.
We're able to see blue and fin whales when they come in the area, and then when big events like global recessions or a marine heat wave comes through for a few years, we can see how those populations move over time.
During the ocean heat wave of 2014, a significant number of fin and blue whales left the waters off Southern California.
Those levels decreased by about 50%, but levels at our more northern sites where it's colder water, the fin and blue whale sound levels went up.
Scripps designed and built the equipment.
This is our hydrophone, and so we have a sensor up here, and these are constantly having data or recording sound, and it's coming down, getting amplified here, and then it gets saved in this. This is what we call our data logger.
More than a half dozen pieces of equipment are located in the Bight of Southern California, collecting data nonstop, which is retrieved every 6 to 12 months. And the hydrophones hear everything.
So this is a great example of noise pollution in the Santa Barbara Channel, and this is happening daily, multiple ships coming through.
Which is how Scripps could hear the slowdown in the economy.
So here in 2008, we hit the economic recession, and this red goes down pretty dramatically.
What the Scripps research does is establish a baseline for the future.
This shows the importance of that 15 years so that we can see these bigger changes.
With over 15 years of information collected from the oceans, the folks here at Scripps will continue to put their equipment in the ocean to listen to the data that it has to offer up. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Isn't that incredible? Grateful for the work they're doing. That'll do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thanks for staying informed. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.